A very, very warm good evening. This is Arnav Chaudhary. You are live on my YouTube channel, Iron Foot. It is Sunday, November the 24th, 2024, and it's another chance to talk about and discuss Indian football. What are the topics today? Of course, the first one is that the Kerala Blasters have convincingly beaten Chennaiyin FC in the Southern Derby of the Indian Super League 3-0. Early in the day, Real Kashmir scored a 2-0 win against Rajasthan United, while Shillong Lajong FC had to dig deep in the I-League, having gone 2 goals down early in the first half to draw 2-2 against the Churchill brothers. So these are the things to talk about. And of course, as you can see here from the picture, or the preview thumbnail that I've created, Mohun Bagan Supergiant have gone top of the Indian Super League standing. So a lot happening. And as always, those of you watching now, those of you watching later, I would love to that if you guys could leave a like behind, share with other people, and more people can join the conversation on Indian football here on Arun Foot, and therefore that's something that I would be very, very thankful to you about. And as always, as I said, like, share, and subscribe. We're at 1,950, so exactly 50 more people needed to complete the 2,000. And as I've said, once we complete the 2,000, there'll be one other thing that I've got in mind to do. So do help the channel to reach that 2,000 mark. And thanks once again. Good evening, Aman. Welcome back to you and to all others as well. And sorry that I'm starting a little later than originally planned. I wanted to start a little earlier, of course, at 9:45, but a Windows update on my system, and suddenly you have to wait for the system to upload, and then some other things also wanted to get uploaded. So sorry for that. Didn't realize that the system would do that to me in this situation. But anyway, now we're here, now we're live, now we're good to go to speak about what all is happening in Indian football. Aman says today's afternoon match was good. Yeah, I watched a bit, and the combination play from Real Kashmir patches looked really, really good from what I saw. Again, I didn't see the whole match, couldn't see the whole match, but the little that I saw looked patches looked interesting, looked encouraging, I would say, from Real Kashmir's standpoint. So therefore, much better football than yesterday's. Your thoughts? Certain time fans get agitated for not winning match or understanding reality. See, Murari, what I tell fans, and it's not a issue of fans in India or here in Germany or in other parts of the world. The problem for fans around the world is, do they really know what is happening inside the team? I think a lot of fans think they know and they understand what is happening within their teams, within their clubs, but the reality is they actually don't. And therefore, understanding reality for fans will be very, very difficult if you have not really been in a football or forget football, any team environment. I think that's one thing that I would say if you ask me. But after today's performance in cricket, why would people follow football, even Northeast? Assam, Manipur is now started part in cricket. I think like when they would also see decline in football. Arijit, I don't know what performance you're talking about in cricket. As I've said multiple times, I don't follow cricket. I don't see northeastern states prioritizing cricket over football, at least not Manipur or Mizoram. Mizoram certainly is 100% prioritizing football over cricket, sorry. Arunachal Pradesh is prioritizing football as well. So therefore, I don't know what you think. Is it decline? I don't know. That's not in Bengal. It's a different thing. It's linked also to the success of sort of Ganguly as an India cricket captain, and and that I think changed a lot. And it's the same. We can talk, if you want to talk about these kind of success, we can talk about Bangladesh as well. Bangladesh had a similar movement when the cricket team got successful. Football has fallen back. But pitch was pathetic. Which pitch, Aman, was pathetic in your opinion? Who is next? Who replaced instead of Jeekson Singh? Do we need to replace Jeekson Singh, Murali? I don't know. if we want to talk about replacements, we will certainly talk about Vivian Monan. Again, another good game from him for the Blasters. If I want to look at players, yeah, there are others as well. Putea. We've got players again, but I think we need a Jigson in form. I think that would be good. Yeah, that's something. Do you think even our leadership occupy key positions, but their priority is something else? Murali, yes and no. We've spoken about this multiple times on these chat shows. For some of them, it is, we don't know what their priorities are. On the other side, others say, I do care, but are they putting in the effort? Do they have the knowledge? Do they have the understanding? Do they have the leadership skills and capabilities to do these things? So therefore, there are different reasons for that. But for some people, yeah, surely our priorities are otherwise. Acha, Srinagar. Why do you say the pitch was pathetic? I mean, it's an artificial turf pitch and it's in the mountains. So what do you expect? It's not a natural grass pitch, Aman. So I thought it was fine. I don't know. This is also reality that we, be it Srinagar, Aizawl, that these are kind of places where, we have to see that whichever grounds they have, they use, that they're utilizing them in the best possible way. And that's a challenge, I think, for the system, in a way to try and figure out, how to utilize the grounds and the assets that we need to be able to play football and progress in football, right? That in itself is a challenge, and therefore, yeah, these are realities of how things are. So yeah, sorry, but that's the reality. Right. Yeah, throw me questions, throw me points, guys. To me, I would say, at least after watching some of those I-League matches yesterday, it was good to see that today's match was, I felt, at least the first one that I saw was much better. I've not been able to see the second match, so therefore I can't say anything, but sounds exciting if a team goes 2-0 up and the home team come back with a 2-2, and knowing the Shillong crowd, they would surely have gotten behind their team. So these are things which are there, and we'll be have to build on this. So let's see. Again, start of the season. I don't know for you, but it seems like SSEN no longer is a topic. It seems like the app is working whenever you need it. So therefore, that's another positive, I would say. So from that perspective, that is also working, something which earlier in the week we've discussed, and again we had on Thursday, even Friday morning, the potential of a potential boycott. So for me, that's a good sign that on a Sunday evening we can say, you know what, things are fine. So yeah, let's see. How do you see in general fans fight when there is lost or nothing? Winning example, South American football. See, Murali, I see it a little different, because again, on one side I am a football fan, but on the other side I've worked in football. I work in football, so I have I try and be realistic and pragmatic, and again, for fans, football being passion, football being love, being life, is very, very important. But there are certain boundaries which I think, I feel they should not cross, and that's something which I find sometimes very difficult. And therefore, yeah. So therefore, that's that for me. I think fans fighting, not a thing that I like to see anywhere in the world. Hi, Shomo. Dada, one serious question. Do you think Mo Salah's best consistent performance after Leon's CR7? He would most probably, yeah, he would be in a list of players. Lewandowski comes to mind. Harry Kane comes to mind. If fit, Kevin De Bruyne comes to mind. There are a lot of players. I think Man City at the moment is realizing the importance of a Rodri, right? I think even now more people should understand that it was right to hand him the Ballon d'Or. So therefore, yeah, I think there are a lot of players who are consistent performers if they're fit. I watched a highlight on SSCN app working okay as of now. Thanks, Ochut. Good afternoon to you. That's a good sign. You know. So again, 2 days ago, people were moaning and shouting. It seems like they've sorted out their basic issues and problems, and that, in my opinion, is a good sign. So let's hope that things work from now on, and we will not be discussing it anymore. Hopefully, it works out for them as well as a company, and we don't see them pull out at some stage. Israel drawn France, huge upset is one of those rare match. Murali, we have these rare matches, and where these kind of results happen, right? So yeah, it happens. From France perspective, it shouldn't happen, but it does. You have surprises and upsets in football. Otherwise, football would not be fun, right? If football was like, okay, listen, team A, team B, team A is stronger than team B, team A wins. Where's the charm in the game? Vivian Monan, keep your head down and keep the momentum. You have a long future ahead. Shomo, very well said. It's one of those players that I hope can build, can get better. Because at the moment he's a huge asset to the Kerala Blasters. Hopefully becomes an asset to the Indian football national team as well. But again, he's, as I always say, he's not a finished product yet. He's still in his building phase, and I hope that Vibin continues to play the way he's playing at the moment, can get even better, because the Blasters have a real talent in there. The same with Kuru. Very interesting discussion on the live broadcast amongst the commentators in regard to, is it right to sort of sub him off after 60 minutes, or should it be given a little bit more time? If his age is right, so yeah, let's wait and see. The Blasters have some assets in there. How is Vivian different from Jay Gupta? First of all, they play in different positions. Jay Gupta is a defensive player in regard to, he's either a left back or a centre back. Vivian Monan is a holding six, and Vivian has come through a different school of football, and those would be the different. They're totally different, so I don't know. You can't even compare them. I would say, if you ask me, those are the kind of players that I don't think are sort of should be put in the same bracket and should be compared, right? So that's something which I say is something. Again, Vivian is one of those. I hope he's not a sort of a 1-2 season wonder, and then suddenly he plays some good matches and he's gone. We've had a lot of them in the last 4 or 5 years. Where people demand it, and Jay Gupta is, I think, the best example of that. I hope Vivian can consistently perform and either grow with the Blasters, or maybe then move on to another team. And he's now already part of the Indian national team. It'll be interesting to see how he plays over the next 3-4 months, and if he maybe even becomes an option. Ayush and Gibson Singh also have good potential, but so far failed to showcase that. Good example. Shomo, that's the problem that we have, right? We've got a lot of these players where you think, okay, can they take the next step, right? And therefore, when it comes to the Indian national team, I'm a little careful. After 3, 4, 5, 6 matches, are the players that good to be pushed? Right? Last season, we were talking about Jay Gupta and about Parthiv Gogoi. We now see where Jay Gupta is sort of stuck, right? Akash Sangwan has moved past him. Sandesh Jingan has come back. For him to replace Sandesh Jingan, I think, is a little bit off. And therefore, all these, being a talent, right? If I see a player like Vinci Barreto today, right? I remember a lot of people said, oh, you know what, at some stage he has to be playing national team. It's like, what is that thing that Vinci Barreto can add to the national team? We've got a lot of these players, a lot of these wingers. So I hope Vivian stays cool and improves. Like the Punjab FC versus Northeast United FC game, particularly Northeast United FC's form till now. Uchut, I said that yesterday here on the live. Really love the intensity, love the game play, especially in that first half when it was 11 versus 11. there is something about Northeast. That's why I also did a video today on Northeast United about asking the question: Are Northeast United a top ISL side? You know, so and to me, yeah, I think they've done a lot of things right over the summer to be there where they are now. I think they did a lot of things right last year, bringing in Manda, bringing in Ben Ali, and to me is and Punjab FC is still working on that trajectory. They're not there, you know. So let's see what happens. You said a player doesn't possess quality of Asian level player. Can we say because of 12-man structure issue? If they had good system, can we say they could be top team? I don't think it's an issue of a system or something. It's you know, there could be an exceptional Indian kid who's world class. We don't have that at the moment. You know, so therefore it is not development and structure. It could be, I don't know, if we had a generational talent like a Messi or something, that player would stand out. But even that, we're not producing that. So it's it's the overall thing. These guys, Vikram, Vibin, Ayush, Gibson almost won the match in U17 Asian Games. Asian Cup quarterfinals against South Korea. Bivana did a great job with junior boys. Let's be honest, we didn't really win that game. I think South Korea was better than us, so they deservedly won that game. But we got to a stage where we, at the moment, can just dream of being. So, yes. But the point at the end of the day is that these boys then at senior level need to showcase that they are capable of being top-class professionals. Do you have any update after your video about the PIOC issue? Nothing. I think a lot of people are suddenly talking about it again after Dhiman's tweet, and my reaction to that as well. But I've not heard anything concrete, let's put it this way, that anyone is sort of taking action or trying to do. So therefore, let's wait and see what happens. But I think the topic will crop up, and again, when I go back, I will surely discuss it. Do you think Super League Kerala like leagues a threat or a new opportunity to improve football? I don't think they'll improve football because I think it is wasted effort, wasted money of putting it into such leagues if you're not part of the general structure. I think that's the first challenge I think that these leagues will have. And secondly, are these resources, could have been utilized elsewhere and in a different way? And therefore, to me, yeah, let's see where it goes. But I don't think state super leagues are the answer to the problem because they're not even running the whole year. We already have a problem that our state leagues are running as 3, 4, 5, 6 month short leagues. You know, often 3 months. We need to get these leagues to be run all across the year. In which way do you think Stephen Dias is better compared to today's players? Surprising fact that they didn't have good exposure and developed close to still prove their capabilities. He was just technically better. Simply as that. Technically better, more dedicated, I sometimes feel. Strachey struck a deal with IFA for state franchise league. Yes, they've done that. If JJ wouldn't have got injured and retired, we might have not struggled that much as we are now, but the search just doesn't end. Yeah, but even if JJ had extended his career, by now JJ would be towards his end of his cycle. So I think we would have faced the same problem. Musiala, Enric, Yamal, they are wonder kid. Can we say their structure made good and individual class of the same player born in a country which doesn't have good structure can be developed? Yeah. Why does play good? Why do, let's say, players from African countries come up? The structure is not important. If you are an exceptional talent, you will somehow or the other come through. Your opinion on Bajaj's argument against new franchise-based model of AIFF? I wouldn't know what the argument is, Prasanjit. If you write me down the argument, then I can maybe say something about it. Dada, if you have some connection, please reach out to Parliament MP regarding what is also in your sports. Maybe top brass will listen and something may happen. Shomo, I have spoken X number of times over the last now nearly 24 years on this topic with the sports ministry, with other ministry level people. At the moment, there is no interest. And the AIFF had given some false hopes last year about, about creating a committee and wanting to look into it and wanting to do something about it. Nothing has happened, right? So therefore, I am, if there's an opportunity, I will surely speak to people, but it is for, for the system, for the political system to understand what the value is of sports. I think that's our first problem. If the Prime Minister of India goes and speaks in front of the Spanish Prime Minister about El Clasico rather than speaking about Indian football because Indian football is a failure, that to me, that will be seen, and therefore for me, that's the problem, and it starts at the top, and again, when you add to sports, we don't have leadership. We speak about marquee events. Again, we want to host the Olympics in 2036. We're in 2024, which means that football would be one of the sports that we would represent India if we get it, if there's a big if. We're 12 years away. And where is our men's football? Where is our women's football? Right, so, yeah. AIFF is proposing 12 state franchise-based leagues, just like Super League Kerala and then a national league, which would kill I-League clubs. Okay, there are two sides to look at it. My first question is, what have the I-League clubs done for Indian football over the last, or NFL and I-League clubs over the last nearly 30 years, right? Have they really set Indian football on fire? Have they taken us to the, to the next level? Have they created world-class talent? That's a big no. Then we come to the AIFF, where this whole Super League idea seems to be like the new kid in town, and it looks great and this and that, and because the Kerala State Association's Anil Kumar is now the Secretary General of the AIFF, that seems to be like, okay, now we're going to move forward in this path and we're going to do things. Seems to be his thought process, the way forward. I find that difficult, but again, that's the way they're thinking. Tell me 12 states who can run a state Super League. I don't see 12 states being able to run state Super Leagues with the investment needed. And I-League clubs are killing themselves because if I-League clubs, I-League clubs, just think about it. I-League clubs have agreed to pay for television production to put the I-League on Sony, which means your product is worth not even zero. Your product is worth minus. And you're still paying the players as much as you're paying. So that should be again, we're looking at the AIFF. The AIFF is a problem. The AIFF is a culprit. The AIFF is this, the AIFF is that. No doubt about it. That is a serious issue, a serious problem. And my problem here is that all of this that we're discussing now could have been discussed, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 months earlier, right? So these problems that are there, and they're evident that the problems are there, they're not being discussed, and this whole, as I said, new kid on the block with these franchise-based super leagues. Kerala can do it, Bengal can do it. For example, Karnataka, Goa, I don't think them doing it. Manipur is not in a position to do it. Mizoram will not do it. Mizoram has its own system with the Mizoram Premier League. Who remains amongst the football places? So therefore, I don't see 12 places doing it. So that's the first thing. You said structure doesn't matter, but without having proper grassroots, how can we expect good quality player? We don't need, if you're an exceptional talent, you will make your way through the system. I am Vijan made his way through the system, despite no system being there. So therefore, if you're good, you'll make it. Current AIFF regime will not be able to do anything on OCI matter either. Kalyan Chopra or any other member don't have any connection with ruling party or government. He is part of the ruling government. So that he has the... It's not about connection, it's about the will and the desire. That is the real problem. So what, according to you, should actually be with club football structure? I also think Minas only because ISL level players. Not even ISL level players, because at the moment, if you look at ISL level players, Indian players, and you look at Indian players 10 years ago, where's the quality? We've come 10 years down the path. We're not producing better. So if you ask me about the structure, very simple. The ISL is your top tier. I think that the current structure actually, I-League, I-League 2. I would make I-League 3 a regional league, I-League 3, and make it a proper league and not make it a 5-team tournament. At the moment, the I-League 3 is a tournament. It's not a league. And then have local leagues or have a regional league between I-League 3 and the local leagues. That's the best way forward. Khalid Jamil time is over now. They're starting to collapse day by day and they depend on Ezio for the entire defense. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sip. I feel 3 Kolkata big boys has better connection than Kalyan Chobe to do some progress regarding OCI, but if they intend to do so, why would they intend to do so, Shomo? Right? And do they have the better contacts? I would not know. I don't think so. I don't think so. They have. And what's in it for them? Because I think Debashi Datta the other day clearly said, right? I care only about the first team. Who the hell? I don't care about grassroots and youth football. He said it openly, right? So when it comes to development of Indian football, the challenge in Indian football is to develop Indian football despite some of the big teams. That's the challenge. Can we say a country which performs well in Olympics are giving priority to football or they have legacy? Some prioritize football, some have legacy, and some are lucky by chance. Now, do you think AIFF is much worse run FA than others in the world? Just looking in Africa, Europe, other countries where sometimes voices getting raised. Guten Abend, Roshan. First of all, I think the challenge is that the AIFF at the moment is not AIFF is in a sort of trying to survive mode. If you understand what I mean, they're in a let's keep this thing somehow alive. That's their mission. They think they know, they understand what needs to be done, and they seem to be changing their plans once in a while. So that is and therefore at the moment AIFF again, where's the leadership? Where again I don't even know where we're going, because if this 12 state leagues and then feeding into the I-League and whatever they're trying to create happens, yeah, where are we going with this, right? Because Vision 2047 already is down the drain because our short-term goals to 2026 are not working, right? If I can recall correctly, even before the ISL, someone from Bengal had proposed a statewide PSL similar to ISL State Franchise League. Actually, there were actually 2 attempts. That is the one which was done by CMG, the company who brought Argentina and Messi in 2011 to Kolkata to play against Venezuela. They tried it, and I was involved. Actually, there was a German gentleman who had a proposal, who was working on projects in India and football buff. And we looked at a potential model, but it sadly didn't work out. So yeah, there were 2 attempts because our attempt was actually to try and galvanize Bengal football, and trying to get it out of just being just Kolkata football, but it sadly didn't work. People who says 1 billion cannot find good playing 11, or they don't understand things behind the scenes. Murali, for some, numbers matter. For some, it makes sense to say, listen, 1.4 billion in India, 1.4 billion in China, and both these countries are unable to put it together a good football team. Yeah, sounds easy. But again, just having sheer numbers doesn't work. The counter example to me is in Iceland, with I think 3.5 lakh people, where development has worked. So therefore, it depends. It depends on how you see this, and how it works. But it should be an advantage, but it can be a drawback. Madrid, Barcelona, Man U, Man City focus on youth development as well as winning leagues, but Kolkata and focus only on ISL and even other ISL clubs. That is something many fans don't understand. Yeah, Prasanji is very right. Very, very right. Especially the Kolkata clubs with the pedigree and the history should have much, much more. I mean, I sometimes feel when you go to Kolkata, and I remember a few years ago, I went with certain German people, and I showed them the Maidans, and they looked at East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, and Mohammedan. They were shocked. We're talking about 2019. They were shocked to see what kind of infrastructure these clubs have. And therefore that's the reality. They are proud of what they have, but actually they don't have anything because they are on borrowed time, borrowed land, right? Because that land belongs to the army, and they share their club premises actually with other teams as well. So these clubs are so big, so they could, should, would do so much more, in my opinion, but they don't. And that is, I think, the challenge of the Kolkata Giants, in my opinion, to really play a bigger part and a more important role in what is happening in Indian football. Already more than half an hour. Thank you to all of those of you who are watching. Welcome back to those of you who are regulars. Those of you who might be new, welcome to my channel. My name is Arun Chaudhary. You're on Arunfoot. If you haven't, if you think you like you're seeing or hearing what you're hearing here, 6 likes so far. So do leave a like, share it with other people as well if you can. And if you want to regularly watch what is being said and produced here on this channel in mainly Indian football, once in a while international football, then do leave a subscription behind. 1,950, so 50 more to go to the 2,000 mark. And as I've told you, once I cross the 2,000 mark, there are a few interviews that I'm planning to do, which I will then start to implement. So therefore, thanks a lot to all of you who are following, but let's keep on growing the community. And also, we're doing, as always, some videos earlier today, asking the question if Northeast United is a top ISL side. Last night I did something on, when will OCIs or PAOs play for Indian football, for the Indian national team. Again, we're only looking at the men's team, but also the women's team could be something to look at, and other things should. And Messi's Argentina play in Kerala was something I did 3 days ago. So therefore, do watch these videos and support. And as always, thank you very, very much, everyone. Dada, do you think Ranjan was better than Praful and Kalyan? Shomo, I think first of all, I have to compare the time when these gentlemen were presidents of the All India Football Federation. Priyoda was there when Indian football actually became what it is now. Let's be honest. He helped create a lot of structures. He was there when the NFL was started. He was there when the AIFF suddenly had a full-time secretary. Football House was built. The NFL was turned into the I-League, semi-pro to pro. A lot of FIFA support, AFC support, AFC Vision Asia started, for example, in Manipur. The Manipur State League was started at the time. So and Priyoda was loved the sport. So Priyoda was not only just, of course, he was a politician, and but on the other side, he was someone that was really generally interested. Praful is different in that way, but again has also done his stuff, and Kalyan, a lot of questions have to be asked about ex-players being in those positions. Vagabond loves Kerala Blasters, and today I think you will be very, very happy after that deserving result. Congratulations to the Blasters fans. 3-0 against Chennaiyin FC. Uzbekistan played one hell of a match with Spain Olympics. They were very close to being huge upset in China. But yeah, Morai, but again, huge upset could, would, should happen, but they don't, right? And then sometimes it do happen, sometimes they don't. During pre-run time, India first time saw cheerleader and sports introduced in Fed Cup telecast by Z. Yeah, Z Sports started the Zebras during the Fed Cup in Goa. I remember, I think Mahindra United won that tournament, if I'm not wrong, 2005, if I'm correct. And yeah, a lot of things happened. Again, whenever the I League or sorry, the NFL didn't have a sponsor, he somehow or the other got a sponsor on board, right? So the things that we talk about today that the federation is unable to generate money or to organize money, President Dasmunsi has done that in the past. Again, I guess it was easier. The figures were much lower, but again, he did those things. How do you think the centre back pairing between Tom and Alberto? Arnav, I think Tom Alred and Alberto Rodriguez look a solid pairing. Haven't conceded in I think 4 matches, if I'm right, in a row. That showcases you where they stand. So, no, sorry, they have conceded 1 against Odisha, but again, they have not. Yeah, 1 goal in the last 5. So to me, they've done very well, and in that aspect, they're a top pairing in this league, and yeah, again shows you that we don't have those kind of centre backs in India, and yeah, those are the realities, right? So therefore, for me, it's a challenge in itself. To try and compare others with them, but these guys are doing really well at the moment. Why was Nehru Cup in football stopped? Russia, Soviet, everyone came. Arijit, again, we're talking about the 80s when it was big, even in the 90s to some extent. It was restarted in the 2000s, 2007, 2009. India actually won the tournament, or 2013, I think, Avramkova once as well. So from that standpoint, it did happen. It's now that I guess in these political times post 2014, I think no one wanted a tournament to be under the name of Mr. Nehru. What is the latest update on I-League broadcast? Did the clubs agree? Dead Shark, yes. So the clubs agreed because the clubs are going to be paying for that broadcast. 12.5 lakhs per team to go to Sony. So de facto they're buying airspace on Sony, and the clubs have agreed, and therefore the matches started on Friday. India played against Argentina at Eden Gardens. Why is it now used only for cricket? Because the Salt Lake Stadium was built, right? And thereafter, it was never ever used for football again. ISL, I-League, then I-League 2 should be regional with 8-9 teams, and each region with an I-League qualifiers towards the end of the season tournament form up in structure. I don't think a third tier regional league is what I would rather have, a 4th or maybe a 5th tier regional league. I think have your ISL, your I-League, your I-League 2, and then again, as I said, I-League 3 to me is the one where I would make it regional, and 8-9 teams to me also doesn't make sense. That 8 or 9 odd number, it has to be, ideally would be a 12-team league, and you would have, let's say, 20 matches a season, right? So 22 matches a season with a 12-team, yeah, or 10-team with 18 promotion relegation at each level, yeah. But that's something which is yeah, that is something that I think that's missing. On a different point, I miss Noel Dalima Letao's voice. Oh, Uchut, you're saying something. I'll tell you a small little anecdote about Noel. Noel Dalima Letao was the patron of Vasco Sports Club. It was because of him that Vasco reached the levels of the NFL. Yeah, they were one of the Goan sides who made it to that level. And I met Noel the first time in July 2000 at Fulham. India played Fulham, lost 2-0. German 1990 World Cup winner, Karl-Heinz Riedle scoring both the goals, and we were in the Fulham box when Noel came charging in and telling Sukhvinder, why were you playing this player? You should have been playing that player. And I was thinking like, okay, who is this? Who's this gentleman, right? And he came in, and Novi Kapadia was there. Peter Hutton, who's of course now, who used to work in India in those days, now senior executive with the Saudi Pro League, and actually consultant, I think, and with others as well. Introduced me to Noel, and yeah, we became good friends. India versus UAE, I remember that game in Bangalore, which India won 1-0. Noel and I spoke, and then I actually traveled down to watch that game. 2001, there was no social media and all that stuff that we have today, and it was quite difficult, but we somehow managed, and we became very, very good friends. He used to always ensure when I used to run IndianFootball.com that I used to get information out of Goa, so that that the Goan football scene would be covered on our website. And I also remember the day he died. He died. Yeah, he died in Kolkata on the day of the AIFF Shield final. He actually wanted to go for dinner with me, with some others as well. I don't know. I think Novi was one of them. Some other people as well, and all of us had some other. I had a family dinner, so I didn't go. And then I remember that the IFS secretary Subrat Datta called me up. Subrat at the time was IFS secretary, and said, "You know what? Noel De Lima was found dead in his bathroom in the hotel. He had a heart attack." And yeah, people like Noel De Lima are missed. Those are the kinds of people. And Noel's voice, exceptional, football understanding, great. His passion for football, again, Vasco Sports Cup without him was never the same again. He was also the voice with Novi Kapadia when the NFL started, and yeah, that was Noel De Lima. Very, very great guy. Yeah. Curious question. We know that India and Norway international sports compete in Olympics, but India image raised in digital infrastructure, space exploration. Space exploration, I think most parts of the world doesn't bother. Digital infrastructure, yes, but only those people who know. I think India has a certain image around the world which is not positive, and I think to turn around has got to, and let's see. We, the fans with little knowledge, are also responsible for the mess created in football, whether it be the extension of Eagles team match or participation in Asian Games and many more. Raj, I couldn't have said it better. Sadly to say, yes. I've said that. If you look at old videos, what I felt, I said last year in August, September will be a mess, a scheduling mess, and we ran into that scheduling mess. I said Eagles team should have been gone in 2022 latest, if not 2021. Yeah, and therefore maybe people don't like. Someone said to me, why don't I have more following on social? Someone said to me actually this week, why don't I have more people following what I do? And I say most probably because I say the truth. I say what is factually right at the end of the day. I think more often than not. Don't want to sound full of myself or arrogant, but that's just experience, knowledge, and understanding. But people want to sometimes hear what they want to hear, and I realize that especially with certain fan bases, they don't want to accept the reality. So sorry to say, and it's not just that; it's just Indian football in general. People. Again, we talk about accountability. There is no accountability in football across all levels. Does financial power matters in competing Olympics? Players do. Financial power matters, of course. Olympics, also Olympic sports, you have to develop the players, right? Which teams do you see as the most improved teams from South ASEAN, CAFA, and East Asia? ASEAN is relatively easy. I think it's Indonesia. CAFA, yeah. Do we talk about Afghanistan? Afghanistan is different. Most probably at the top level, Uzbekistan. East Asia, East Asia, it's Japan, Korea, China. I don't know who you want to take. And SAF, who's developed a lot recently. I don't know. Is it Nepal? I don't know. Difficult to say. And I remember Pete Hutton, you commentating in that England series. Yes, Uchud, yeah, 2000. That was great fun with Peter. Turned out to be a great friendship since then. Great matches, India versus Fulham, India versus West Bromwich Albion. Playing in Leicester against Bangladesh, Jokul and Cherry scoring the winner, yeah, and then the tours thereafter. So yeah, I had a lot of fun in those years. I was also one of them who used to think Steamer's contract should be extended. Raj, again, I think if you have understood it now and you've learned it, yeah, then you've moved on, and that's positive in my opinion. Do the football academies have academies for sports coaches and admins? No, there are no such academies. Punjab FC needs to get their home ground in Punjab, totally empty stadium in Delhi, and whenever playing as Delhi FC in Punjab, they should exchange names or there will be empty stands. See, Punjab FC, um, have a problem that in Punjab there is no ISL ready stadium. That's their problem, right? That's a real problem at the moment, and as long as that doesn't change, Punjab FC is not in a position to say, listen, we will be moving from Delhi to Punjab. Fact, that's a reality at the moment. So therefore, in my opinion, that's that. Delhi FC is a different. I don't know what the reasons are, but yeah. So therefore, that's that's a question that someone most probably would have to ask Ranji Bajaj. I don't know if someone has asked him, but I don't know why. Was India relevant in football in 50s in the world? What was India's second and best phase and worst phase? I think we were never relevant in world football. I think some people want us to make us believe that. If you ask people who have a little understanding of football history, nobody will mention India as a football powerhouse or something. So that's that. Our best phase, I don't know what was our best phase. My best phase would have been around 28, 29, 10, 11. Winning or starting with 2007, winning the Nehru Cup, winning the AFC Challenge Cup in 2008, Nehru Cup again in 2009, playing the 2011 Asian Cup. And those Bob Houghton years, I think, would be my second base phase and worst phase. Maybe we are in it at the moment, or the last few years under Igor Steamer. Yeah. Raju Gaikwad, what a player as defender. How do you rate him? Murali, I rate him quite highly. Because I actually signed him for Mumbai City in 2014. Former Indian junior captain, even captain East Bengal in some matches. So yeah, I liked Raju. Have you ever met Novi? Dechak, I've met Novi numerous numbers of times. He was the person who took me to Kareem's the first time when we were there for I think that was Durand Cup. We met in Delhi, in Goa, in Kolkata. I don't remember his book launch around the Under-17 World Cup. So therefore, a dear friend in those days, and sorry, so Novi was, someone that I look up to. But again, as I've said in the past, not on everything we would agree on, I think, and that's something which I think under friends, if you have different opinions on certain things and how football structure, because all I always say is that I'm a little different than most other people because I have had the luck that I've worked in different areas of football, unlike very few people like me in this football world, right? Done the journalistic part, with the online part, with television, with radio, with newspapers. Now, this content creator space, which I do for fun in the part-time, have worked for federations, I've worked for confederations, for FIFA. I've worked in setting up leagues, clubs. seen it all, done it all, and I enjoy my work, and therefore I'm in a different position than other people are, most probably. You should promote your social media channels on these live chats. I just followed you on Twitter after you mentioned social media. Thanks. Again, it's always, if you want to scroll down and look in my description, all my social medias, of course, this YouTube channel, but also Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and the blog, all of them are mentioned if you want to follow it. And again, thanks a lot for always following it. Support this channel, let's make it bigger, let more people join us in our conversation. And yeah, it's something that's I feel is very important to grow the community of people who are discussing with us the state of Indian football and what's happening, what's not happening, what is happening right, what's happening wrong. I always say very, 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 very important to speak about it. Major difference between Ajax Academy and Manchester City Academy. Ajax Academy in its form has been running now for 40, 50 years successfully, right? They're on a different level. But Manchester City, now the academy is one of the best in the world. So, yeah. Is Japan better than US, Canada, Mexican football as a team? Origins, I don't know. On their day, Japan can beat any of those three teams. On their day, any of those three teams can beat Japan, if you ask me that way. Shillong Lajong game was high pace and interesting today. Yesterday, Namdhari versus Delhi FC was not good quality. Mayank, I saw a little bit yesterday of Aizawl FC versus Dempo FC. The same thing. Didn't think of that it was quality. And then today watched a little bit of Rio Kashmir versus Rajasthan United, and I really liked some of the gameplay patterns that Rajasthan United had. That Rio Kashmir had. So the much criticized Ishfaq Ahmed putting together something out there. One could see what his team was playing. So therefore that's that again. But it's quite weird that yesterday you had two dud matches, and it seems like today you had two good matches. How much may it cost to build a low capacity AFC licensed stadium? Deadshot can't generalize that. Depends on which city, how much does the land cost, how much is the general. No idea. I can't be generalizing such a thing. I remember ESPN coverage of football brilliant, not only football, other sports. What made ESPN different from other channels? ESPN is a sports brand, ESPN Star Sports. Maybe you remember Sports Center as a sports news show in its prime. So therefore, these were things which were there, which which no longer exist, sadly, right? So therefore, ESPN had its special charms. I've done World Cups for them, Asian Cup as well. So yeah, it was great fun in those days to do some work for them. Remember a school team from Malappuram, Kerala, dragging Brazilian team in Subrata Cup. 2000 euros there. All those players just vanished. Yeah, but what again? Is Brazilian school football team? Does it have to be really good or not? I mean, how were those Malappuram boys overage or not? Another topic. Again, Subrata Cup has now become, to some extent, a joke in itself, right? Because you're doing age testing and most of the players are overage. It's a huge problem in Indian football, right? So, yeah, let's wait and see. I watched Raju Gaikwad's match. I think he played solid. What made him unique compared to other players? I don't know if he was unique, Murali. I think this, uniqueness topic is overstretched. Raju, of course, had one thing was his long throw-in, which he was able to do. That made him stand out. In his prime, a solid centre-back, but also sometimes, as we experienced at Mumbai City FC, mistake-prone, right? Typical, Why can't India play non-league English sides? Could India best beat them? Surely India can go and play non-league sides, but they would have to go to England. Will they beat them? Difficult, I'm not sure. Which is the best Asian team in men's and women's football? Is India rated highly in men's or women's football in Asia? If I look at the World Cup qualifiers, then I would say most probably Japan is the best team in the men's and the women's. Yeah, most probably between Japan, Korea, China, North Korea would be amongst them. And no, we're not rated higher in the men's and women's game at the moment, Arijit. Have you seen Ayush Chetri? Yes, I have. Currently FC Goa player and ex-Aizawl FC player. He's just 21 and already 3 years experience playing in ISL. Seems talented to try out in Europe lower leagues. Good defensive midfielder. Mayank, he doesn't play regularly as a starting player. 3 years of experience, nice to have. But for him to have an opportunity to go abroad, and first of all, the desire has to be in the player to say, listen, you know what? I want to go out. I want to try my luck. Otherwise, it makes, yeah, that's something that I would say, 3 years of experience. How many minutes does he have in the ISL? I wouldn't be able to say, that's the problem that these players have, right? So that the whole experience factor, a match day can never be replaced. I'm just checking up to see how many matches has he played. He's played 31 matches for FC Goa in 2.5 years, right? Not enough, and most of them as a sub. So that's part of the problem that players like him have and face. Japanese women team beat Spain. Your thoughts on it? What only happens? Japan has been world champions in the women's game. Yeah, they've won the FIFA Women's World Cup. We should regularly play against ASEAN countries. At least we did in these windows, but obviously need more matches. Prasenjit, yes, but the problem remains there are not many more windows where we can play these ASEAN countries, right? Our challenge now is to utilize the time we had. Manolo explained that he rather at this stage wanted to play wanted only one match. He wanted more game training time with the team, and then we'll see what he can do with his team. And that's the challenge on him. Is Iran football going down in quality in the last 15 years? No. Why, Rohit, would you say that? Is Bangladesh rated highly in women's Asia pecking order? They will so easily win, except Pakistan. Bangladesh are better than us at the moment, let's put it this way, but in Asia, they are not rated highly. I think that it's rather the downfall of Indian women's football than rather. And yeah, Pakistan is still in a finding phase of how to best integrate their players of origin into their squad, right? Japan, Korea, only few teams from Asia can stand with the best team in Europe. Rest of them struggling. Australia, Iran struggled. Yeah. That's those things happen, right? I mean, that's something which is normal. I think in football that in certain teams, certain matches, in one-off games, these guys might be able to cause problems or an upset, but can they do it on a regular basis? That's the challenge, right? That's the challenge, guys, with these kind of teams, the Asian sides. So that's something. At one point, Iran was the best team in Asia. Rohit, they were, but I think it's not their downfall. I think that the others have just gotten better, right? Iran is still a good quality a solid Asian side, but Japan has improved by leaps and bounds. South Koreans are there. The Saudis can be said. The Qataris, the Australians are there in that mix as well. Uzbeks need to be discussed. But Iran is Iran. So I don't think they are any minus. Team Melli is still a top Asian side. So I don't think that they have fallen behind anybody in that way. So if you ask me, that is something that I would say. All right. Oh, nearly an hour gone now on this Sunday evening. Just to recap, as we reach the hour mark, in the I-League, Real Kashmir beat Rajasthan United 2-0. Shillong Lajong had to come back from 2 goals down to hold Churchill Brothers to a 2-2 draw, and then later on in the evening, The Kerala Blasters scored a fluid 3-0 win against Chennaiyin FC to come back after 3 losses. So this whole interesting, every time there is a discussion about a certain coach that he could get fired, um, the teams win, except East Bengal. Every other team has won, and suddenly the coach turned around. So let's see what happens in Mikkel Store and the Blasters. Yes, over an hour. If you haven't, do like the video, to share the video if you're liking what you're seeing. 10 likes so far. And if you like the content on this channel and want to be informed what is happening here, please do leave a like behind, leave a subscription behind. That's it. Be a subscriber. 1,950 at the moment, 50 more to go to reaching the 2,000 mark. And do look at the videos that I produce every day, shorter videos on different topics. Today it was about, is Northeast United top ISL side. Yesterday at evening, I released something on regard to FPI's OCIs. When will they play for India? Earlier before that, I-League kickoff. Messi's Argentina, should they play in India? India's failures as a national team. Other topics as well. A while back, of course, discussing. Actually, 2 weeks back, AIFF is there. Will they extend their contract? So do watch those other videos as well. And how things are. Thanks a lot. As always, thanks for your support. So Asia as a whole is improving. I think they are improving, yes, but as a whole, I wouldn't say that, because, for example, we are stagnating at the moment or getting worse. Do you think Japanese football is another level, especially their player transformed another, especially playing it? See, Murali, Japanese players have been coming to Europe since the 70s, 80s. Yeah, Okudera came to Cologne in the 80s. Even we at Seremschheid, as a second Bundesliga club in the 80s, had a Japanese player, right, who went on to become a Japan captain after that. So therefore, that's been there. No, the Bundes, even more than going to the Premier League, they've been coming to Germany. Hi, Blue, welcome back. What's the issue with I-League clubs? Orijit, to understand the issue with I-League clubs, watch the videos. I've done, I think, 3 or 4 videos over the last few days, or last 2 weeks, actually. No, last 8 days, actually, since last week, Saturday. Watch those videos in detail. You'll understand what has happened. Simply said, the clubs wanted the broadcast to be on Sony, on a television channel, and not just on a streaming platform. And then, the AIFF wanted something else. And then they agreed on it, and the clubs are now paying for the broadcast to be on Sony. Penny for thoughts. Manoj is becoming more dependent on long ball's style of play. If he wanted to play long ball, why not bring an English coach for national team? Why Spanish coach? See, the question is not what kind of coach do we want, right? Even English coaches don't have to automatically play the long ball. The problem is with the quality of your players. Manolo has to realize, or has been realizing, that the way that he wants to play is not possible with the current team, because he doesn't have the players to the way he wants to do it. And now the challenge for him is to find solutions to try and score and win. Your opinion about Kerala Blasters performance. Blue, said it earlier on today. They were the better side. Chennai didn't turn up, and the Blasters deservedly won this game. There's no question in my mind that the Blasters deserve to win today, and therefore, that's the problem. If they are allowed to play the way they can play with Noah Sadoui, especially in the way he is, Jimenez. If Luna gets better, so therefore, let's wait to see. Do you think Indian football still has sort of future? Yes, Sanjay, 100%. I still think there is some sort of future. It just needs to be worked on. Do you think Indian tier 1 cities lack football facilities and grounds for grassroots? No. I think that there are, if you want to play football, in the metros, in tier 1, tier 2, even tier 3 cities, there are possibilities out there. You just have to look for them. I think That's the problem in today's world. You just want to be delivered everything in front of your doorstep. Yeah. Um, so therefore, yeah, you have to put in effort. Do you think in general Dubai has become hosting venue for major events in general? Dubai, Doha, Abu Dhabi, now Riyadh, yeah, all of these places in the Middle East. So are matches being telecast on Sony already? No, Uchut, they will be telecast ideally from round two, but maybe it will take up to round three for the matches to be telecast. Do you think AIFF pays for its own awards from AFC? How did they win Best Grassroots Award despite zero working grassroots? Zorawa, AFF didn't pay for it. That's the first thing. And again, they are not doing the best of works, but they're doing something. And again, there are certain theoretical metrics to follow. It doesn't make sense, but it is that the way it is. And that's how they want it, from what I've understood from the AFC. IPL auction gets 15 crore views, not even a game. ISL games not even reaching 50 lakhs. Last quarter there was highest with only 45 lakhs. Yeah, but Blue, these are realities now. These are the realities, level of interest in football or in other sports, and we need to do more in football to have that interest. Yeah, yeah, we have acidic level of high performance coaches, but they remain neglected. Okay. Why has the Leicester City winning EPL not happened now? Only big teams dominating. Or is it because Leicester was on one side had an exceptional season. There were other teams who didn't have a good season, and that's how they won, right? Because City, Liverpool, Chelsea weren't there that year, so it can happen, should happen. Why not happen? But at the moment, that looks unlikely. Are Jordan underrated in Asia? Origin looks like it. How is Saudi so bad compared to the money they invest? Pablos, why are they bad? Weren't they the only team to beat Argentina in the 2022 FIFA World Cup? Yeah, national team performance cannot be compared to the money invested. Look at how much the Chinese have put in. Look at what the Qataris have put in. You can put in the money, you can put in the investment, but that will not get you the result. So you have to put in the work, and the Saudis are putting in the work. Let's see, uh, you know, let's see what happens. Do you think Kante, one of the players, gone to Saudi, returned to France? Surprising when a player gone Saudi didn't represent national team. A lot of these players who've now gone to the Saudi Pro League are still playing for the national team, so I'm not surprised. Do you know any players in the youth level national side players who started off playing AIFF leagues? Yes. Mitoma dribbling unbelievable. He making fun of top defender in EPL. Okay, Morali. Are Qatar overrated? They are looked down upon by most fans. I don't think they're overrated. I think if I look at Akram Afif, Al Haidous, who's retired and that's hurting them. They're a quality side. I liked watching them. I've watched them a few times in the past live. I like watching Qatar. Again, it's the fans are jealous of the money that they're spending. That's why people don't like them. Your opinion about Man City? Will they win Premier League this season? Blue looks tough after Liverpool did win in the end at Southampton today, but worst run on the Pep. I think that's the first thing that they need to sort. But I don't know if this is going to go in the right direction or not. But it looks very, very tough. So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. So if you see Man City, it's a weird timing because of course Guardiola has extended his contract now and is staying on and will most probably look to rebuild. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Do you think POs may be allowed due to recent buzz and news? If not now, then when? Zorawar, it has nothing to do uh, with the buzz. I know that the media people are speaking about it again. We've had this buzz, I don't know how many times over the last 23, 24 years. When I first raised the topic in 2001, nothing has changed. So for me, the question is not about buzz. For me, is the reality of things is are they going to take it seriously and going to implement things? And that's, at the moment, I don't see that happening in regard to that. But I think that things could change, if you ask me, because next year, SAF, if we lose to certain sides, it might be an issue. Let's see. Let's wait and see. Is Indonesia beating Saudi a huge upset? Is it bigger than Saudi beating Argentina Asian pounds? No. Saudi beating Argentina is, as big as it can get in the world of football. So and Indonesia beating Saudi is a huge Asian upset, but on the world stage, that is much, much bigger than Indonesia beating the Saudis. But how many years do you think India will allow peers? I don't know, Zorawat. I've given up on these kind of things to give any real judgments, because I find it very difficult to say a date, because I feel, normally this should have been done 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and it's still not done, right? So therefore, for me, if you ask me, I would hope things will change in the next 2-3 years, but let's wait and see. If India beat China in football, would it be a huge upset? Yeah, it would be, Arijit. Liverpool is playing so well, even without Klopp. I thought they would go back to early Klopp era. Klopp has handed over a working team. Arne Slot has implemented some of his ideas into the team. So therefore, they are a top side. And of course, City is struggling. If City isn't struggling, then most probably City would have been still in front of them. But City are struggling, and that's helping Arne Slot at the moment. Hi Manolo, how do you rate women's performance today? I said earlier in the show today that the question was asked. I'll just check. Shomod asked the question early on. 1 second. Shomod made an observation, and I just read that out to everyone. Vivian Mohan, keep your head down and keep the momentum. You have a long future ahead, and that's something I couldn't say it better. I rate the player highly. That's what I've always said is don't spoil him by putting him into the national team too early. Give the player the time, and top class performance today once more. And if Vivin works like this, he is hopefully going to be an asset for the Indian national team. So that's my hope. That's my wish. So Vivin can show that to us, and he can take us forward. Do you think SAF has gotten way tougher or just the same? Is India actually an underdog in SAF? India is never going to be an underdog in SAF. In the women's game, Bangladesh is better than us. That's the reality. Now, even Nepal is. But let's wait and see. Next year, SAF will happen, and then we'll see what happens with the result. Is the FIFA AIFF Academy still running? I haven't heard anything otherwise, so in my opinion, it is still running, yes. So if SAF countries with origin players start defeating India, then do you think I want to wake up and do something? At the moment, not sure. So let's wait and see. If Sri Lanka beat India 3-0, by how much it affects India's ranking? Does margins of defeat matter? No, margin of defeat doesn't matter. It's just your rankings in regard to your positions in the rankings. So from that perspective, it wouldn't. Just 1 second. I'll just continue talking. The problem here is for India is that if you look at our rankings of where we are and look at where Sri Lanka is ranked, Sri Lanka is way behind us at the moment. So for Sri Lanka, it would be a huge gain to beat someone like India. But for India, it's a blip, but it's not that bad a blip. It could be worse. But the point here is for us to lose to Sri Lanka. Losing 3-0 to Sri Lanka would be, I don't know, one of the worst defeats in the history of Indian football. Because that's something. I mean, I don't know how many matches we've actually lost to Sri Lanka in international football. So from that perspective, I think it is very, very important for India to try and get results. But the question is, I think Manolo will also be watching what the others are doing, be it especially Sri Lanka. Look at what Pakistan is doing. When does Hamza Chaudhary join Bangladesh? All these things that are happening, and how do you put that puzzle together, and what do we do? Because then suddenly the PIO OCI discussion takes a different path, a different momentum, and then the AIFF is like, listen, guys, we need to do something. And then the question is, would something happen actually? So therefore, for me, it's an interesting phase now. But the question is if the government is really serious. And as I said it yesterday, to me, the government isn't serious, starting with the Prime Minister and the Sports Ministry. The AIFF has said last year that that they will look into it. They never looked into it. The players, there are certain players who are ready, but the question is if the government is willing to aid and support them, and that's not happening at the moment. So therefore, these are realities of things. We're struggling with them, and as long as we do not do our homework, we see Indonesia, from a government perspective, from a PSSI, which is the name of their federation, they together did their homework, got the players interested. The players wanted to join. They've done that. Now they are, getting the results, and we are nowhere near those things, right? So therefore, we need to be very, very clear of what we want to do, what we need, what we require, and otherwise, we can talk about a lot of things, but nothing will happen, and that's the struggle of Indian football at the moment. So therefore, guys, sorry, we need to, let's see. I read someone on Twitter by Asian journalists that Vipin is very mature player at his age. Manolo, let people write what they write. Again, talented player, looking good at the moment. Let him play football and let him improve. That's my only wish. You rate Guru? Great goal that he set up today for Jimenez. Very important goal he set up for Jimenez, to be honest. Yes, I do rate him, but 17, give him time. For me, India is not favorite in SAF in any age category. In any category, agree. No, Manol, I wouldn't say that. We saw that in under 20s. I still would say that under 70s, under 20s men's, we would be favorite. Men's, I would also still think we're favorites. Women's has changed. I think in those, Bangladesh would be all, so let's see. I don't think Guru is 17, he's minimum 21 or 22. Manolo, let's not even get into that discussion because, that's, so that's another discussion we would have. Did Baichung, Shubhata Paul, Ambition win awards at the Asian level? I think Baichung did, if I'm right. Baichung once did win something at the AFC level, but none the others, if I remember correctly. Do you think Qatar done brilliant when it comes to development, like in the case of Aspire Academy? Yeah, Aspire Academy, is one of the best sports training facilities in the world. So therefore they did it. But again, they've invested a lot in infrastructure. The government doesn't care about football apart from PR. Yeah. So that's sadly, football for them is not a priority. That sums it sadly up. Manolo asks, should women go outside India to go to next level before it gets too late? Yeah, I would think yes, but the question is, would he want himself to go? Would the Blasters release the player to go abroad? Those would be the tough questions for him to decide. What does he do? What is the right step for him to take to move ahead? Because Vibin, I think, is going to hit a ceiling at some stage at the Blasters, and to me, then the question is, what is the next step? He's 21. He turns 22 in February next year. what can he do? And yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he can go on to be the next step. By the way, Liston Colasso and Rahul KP end their NNN, no goal, no assist, no chance created streak in consecutive days. So does it mean that it is the good days are back for Indian football, Blue? Or yeah, it's good for the players. I'm happy for both Liston and for Rahul that they have scored, but it's just one goal. Both of them need to perform on a regular basis. Rahul is already on the bench, and will interesting to see what Liston can do. What is the most improved South side? Arijit, in women's football, I would say Bangladesh. In men's, I don't know. What's your opinion about Liston goal against Jamshedpur FC yesterday? So our great goal, quality goal. But again, if he does it 10 times, he scores most probably once. That's the problem. Consistency again. That's the problem with him. But a brilliant goal yesterday for Mohammedan. Do you think I-League should split into North, East, West, and South divisions, play each other in divisions more often, and have a tournament where champs from each division face in semi-finals? No. I understand you're saying saves money on travel, but how big would you make those? I mean, we're not America where we can, again, the other problem that you need to understand if you want to make the I-League into a format that you propose, Rohit. In my opinion, the challenge here is how many teams, can play at that level. Do you want to, I don't know, do you want to have 10 teams in North, East, West, South divisions? Again, and we can't do 4. I would always say you have to do, Northeast as well. So you have to have 5 zones. Then the question is how does that work? Does that really help? And do we have the quality to have, let's say, 10 or 12 teams in each of those divisions? Suddenly it just bloats the whole system. So it doesn't work in my opinion. Can 4 teams from South qualify for Asia Cup? Which teams from South might make it? In theory, Origin, all South nations can qualify. 4 nations from South qualifying, not happening at the moment. So therefore, I don't even need to name 4. Outside of India, if India don't qualify, nobody else at the moment qualifies. Let's see how the other teams are. Let's see. Here, since Hamza played England youth country, might not be permitted to play for Bangladesh. How does that? No, that's not an influence factor. As long as you've not played an A international, some even have switched nations who have played in international friendlies, so therefore, no, not a factor. Divisions foster local rivalries. Rohit, yes, on one side, yes, but do we have the quality of players? Do we have the quality of clubs, of teams to do that? No. This is a very I would rather have smaller leagues and make them more competitive rather than having big leagues. So therefore, my approach would be different on that front. What's the best South side in futsal? Not sure. For that, I don't know the quality of the other South nations. The streaming quality of I-League has been good from Strachi Sports, better than previous editions. Yeah, the streaming has been good. Better equipment used, I guess. So it looks good at the moment. So let's see how far they can really push this. So on the first day, the app didn't work for me at least, but yesterday and today, no problems. Good clean feed, even here in Germany. Good commentary. Yesterday and today's matches, which was I was listening to Vashwar and Polobda were doing it, so those 2 guys know their stuff. So yeah, that was good to see. How Afghanistan are so good in futsal or not that good in football? I don't know, Origin, why. Futsal, yeah, they've made it through to the World Cup. but I don't know. How do you see in general player giving up their citizenship for sports? Is it because of better opportunity or better development? It can be for one of the two reasons or for both. Again, some players decide to play for another nation because the nation that they are in or play in might not give them an opportunity. Some are more loyal to the nation of origin of their parents or grandparents. Some players might have another. There are different reasons for that. It's very difficult to break the top six of ISL this season so close. Agree, Blue. Agree. That's what I said yesterday. Someone asked me yesterday, and I said that actually. What's best futsal team in South and ASEAN region? Are they in world futsal? Arijit, I don't follow futsal that much, so therefore I can't really say which teams are the best or why, where. Which app did you watch the I-League games? It's called SSEN. SSEN. I've just written it in the chat for you, Rohit. That's where you can watch the I-League games. Interestingly, at the moment for free. I don't know, they were supposed to charge money for a season or per game. At the moment, it's still free. Maybe that will change in the coming days. Was India beating Thailand and upset in 2019? Yeah, I would say yes. Especially the way we did it, right? I mean, I happened to be there in Abu Dhabi that day. We were really, really good and impressive. India were really good that day, and I was really impressed the way we played. That was great from India, and yeah, we deservedly won that game, right? So, welcome, Rohit. Mumbai City FC have too many draws; they're not able to grind out results this season. Yeah, Manolo, that's at the moment the problem. And I said yesterday, I think the coming week is going to be crucial for Mumbai City with games against Punjab FC and Hyderabad FC. 2 wins, and they're most probably going to be in the top 3, top 4. So therefore, that's going to be the aim now for Mumbai City to win the next 2 games. So therefore, let's wait and see. Do you think East Bengal have any hopes left this season to finish in top 4? Zoravar, it's top 6. Top 4 doesn't make a difference in my opinion. Top 6 theoretically is still possible, but for East Bengal to be a top 6 side, they would need to win 4 or 5 matches in a row. If East Bengal can start winning 4 or 5 matches in a row, they can still get up there and make a difference. I think that's still possible, right? So therefore, for them, they play Northeast United on Friday, which is a tough one for them. If they can get a win, who knows? Pakistan beat Australia but lost to Zimbabwe. Which football team do you think play like Pakistan? What football? Origin, I don't follow cricket, so can't make that Pakistan comparison for you. Sorry. I don't know what Pakistan cricket means. Again, cricket, sorry, it's not my sport. Born and brought up in Germany. Cricket is not something that we sort of follow over here. So that's something which is very, very clear. Right, 1 hour, 29 minutes. So 89 minutes already of this Sunday evening live chat. Those of you who might be watching, if you like what you're seeing, what you're hearing, please leave a like behind. 16 likes so far. Thank you very much. And share with others as well. And if you are maybe new to the channel, like what you're hearing, what you're seeing, do leave a subscription behind as well. 1,951 subscribers. Thank you very, very much. 49 to go to reach the 2,000. So let's hope that we're going to get there to the 2,000 mark. And thanks again for all the support in the last few weeks, months, and years. Do you watch handball? Yes, I do. Normally I watch it locally, but otherwise on telly, yes, I do like handball as a sport. Was Baichung, Chetri, or Vijayan in their prime good enough to play in J League or South League? Don't think so. No. What's up with pickleball gaining popularity among Indians lately? Rohit, I don't know. Pickleball and paddle tennis are two sports which seems to be the flavor of the moment around the world. I feel it's even very popular here in Germany at the moment, growing exponentially. So therefore, these are sports which people seem to be enjoying. Um, and yeah, it's but why is it gaining popular? I think because of the smaller fields, faster games. That would be my logic. Is Northeast United FC doing anything grassroots levels? However, they are trying to do stuff in Guwahati and Assam. They're trying to now spread out to other states. They've signed an MOU in that aspect regard to that with the Meghalaya government. So yes, they are doing things. Those who can't play tennis play pickleball in Bengal. We say to their shad ghole meta. No, I don't think so, Rijit, because I know a lot of friends of mine who have played or used to play. Um, Tennis aren't fit enough, maybe, or aren't. Um, Sorry, some of them. No, that's wrong. Some of them rather like the fast nature of pickleball or of paddle, rather than those long drawn games and tennis. But Pakistan cricket is inconsistent. They can beat number one and defeat for those who can't even play. Okay, Shuman, thanks for the explanation. Curious question. One thing India has done better than Germany or other countries. Your thoughts people debate about. No idea, Murali. I don't know. I don't know about what. Again, yeah. Uh, right. As I said, like, share, and subscribe. Um, if you haven't to watch the videos, um, leave me also your questions, your thoughts behind on those videos. For example, Northeast United, you think that they're a top ISL side this year? Players of Indian origin, of course, is a topic which we've spoken about a lot. Messi's Argentina coming to Kerala. Do you think that's something which is worth it? Should it be done? Should it not be done? Yeah, those are those amongst others. When will the new AIFF constitution be implemented? I have no clue. Yeah, yeah. So it depends. So first of all, the Supreme Court, and then of course, what kind of constitution is it cleared by FIFA or not? I'm not sure. Can India beat Pakistan at Jinnah Stadium? Yeah, why not? Why should we not beat them? Right, that would be my question. Pickleball is better for less time game. Yeah, pickleball and paddle as well, right? So again, smaller court, faster games. I've had friends of mine. One guy plays table tennis, the other one plays tennis, and they now play against each other. Why Kalyan Chaubey has not been removed yet? Who's supposed to remove him, right? That's the exco of the AIFF, and there's been no movement to remove him, so he's still there. That's the reality. Orijit. Right. If you are not going to throw me any more questions, I slowly come to the end of this live on a Sunday evening. More than 90 minutes. An Indian football discussion on a day that the Kerala Blasters returned to winning ways. 3-0, a convincing 3-0 against Chennaiyin FC. So they are back in the mix for a top 6 finish. Chennaiyin FC disappoint. Real Kashmir play a good game. Against Real Kashmir, impress against Rajasthan United. And Shillong draw. Come back to draw. Churchill Brothers 2-2. Zarawa says today Irfan Yadav is extremely poor. I don't think it was extremely poor. Yeah, he had that one situation where he outran Dinesh. But overall, not a good game. You have conversation with Andy Murray? No, Murali, no, don't know. I guess he's Steffi Graf for double champion pickleball. Okay, interesting. So I leave that, the pickleball discussion aside. It seems to be that you guys have been into this pickleball topic a lot, and I'm looking forward to playing it very soon once more. But these are the topics of the night to talk on Indian football. As I said, like, share, and subscribe. Those of you who might be watching later, thanks a lot always for your support. And if you like more content, do leave a subscription behind, and let's keep on growing the community. Let's get to that 2,000 mark. Thanks a lot. Good night, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.